One thing I really wish when I was hiking up here to first see our burnout lot, and I was walking up here with a paparazzi, and this paparazzi was trying to give me like mental health, try to prep me. I wish they just told me about Rula, because I feel like online therapy.
I mean, it's amazing because there's no wait list. It really eliminates like a lot of frustration. It makes it easy to find mental health physicians and providers who are accepting new patients. Plus, it sticks with you through your journey to check in and make sure that your care is great. Well, it's also like $15 per average. Yeah. So it's very affordable too, accessible.
And they have like 15,000?
Yeah, Rula has
therapists?
partners, a network of over 15,000 therapists, physicians nationwide, enabling you to find your personal solution and the right therapist based on you according to your needs.
Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that's actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/fame to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you. That's Rula, RULA.com/fame, FAME. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
Tell me you didn't get plastic surgery to promote the album.
Oh no, that's all God's.
Welcome back to the Fame Game. You're wondering why my gorgeous pop star wife is in the dirt lot after we were in that beautiful recording studio listening to peaceful birds, and now we're back to chainsaws. Well, life happens, and here we are. Heidi also has no voice. She tore her...
I have a hemorrhage in my vocal cords.
A hemorrhage in her vocal cords. So just know that album 3, she put some real energy into it. So that's been fun. The sign language for the last 3 weeks. But she is here. She wanted to be part of this big podcast. We have 2 legendary Palisadian locals. Currently, they're slumming it in rentals in Malibu. So they're right now Malibu locals.
Actually, this is why we are here in our lot, because these are dear friends of ours. And Spencer, how long have you known both of these amazing people?
Decades.
Too long to date any of our ages here. We're going to hit all demos. So let's not put us in any boxes.
And I met Jaimie when I first started dating Spencer in 2006 or 7 too. So that's a long.
Jaimie, obviously they can all speak on themselves in a second. This is still part of the intro. Jaimie was a world famous stylist before branching out and creating one of the most unbelievable jewelry businesses that carries some of the best jewelry in the world, and Mike GTV's custom pieces as well. So not just other names. So, and Mike Geller, you're what, third gen? Oh,
I've been in jewelry since diapers.
Yeah, but you're third generation.
I
Right?
am third
Palisades
generation,
and jeweler.
Yeah, I think my grandfather dabbled a bit. He was a music manager. He wrote some really cool songs, and did a lot of jewelry for his artists. And my mom, went to Hollywood High, very LA local, and started making jewelry for her friends. And then it grew into a business, and I just sort of was on her hip the whole time, just watching. I didn't think I would ever do jewelry, but I guess it was just always in my cards.
Did Jaimie style you today? Because that shirt you're wearing looks...
I did buy the shirt for him.
Jaimie bought the
I was
shirt,
the first
but
sale, I think.
To be honest,
You were all
Spencer,
12 orders.
this fit is inspired by you, buddy.
But I'm confused.
You styled
I watched the show. I've seen some other people on the show. I figured I'd dress it up
Jeremy did wear a coat.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
Over
shout
one of
out to
your
Jeremy.
shirts.
Love you, buddy. I wore the sport coat with the straight out of water
I have a question.
collab.
How long have you been in, how long is your family from Palisades? How back?
I think Skipper was in the 90s. So like 45 something years. And that was a big thing. I just had to call, shout out Sue from Circling the News, because I was checking in with her because tomorrow is the congressional field hearing where the senators are coming from DC to talk to witnesses, fire victims. And I just wanted to check in with her. And I was like, what are some beats that you feel like no one has really hit on? And she said the generational connection to these homes.
That's where I was going.
People think that it's all affluent people in the Palisades. And she's like, you really need to make clear that so many of the people that now are not going to be able to come back to the Palisades, their grandparents and some even their grandparents' parents have these homes, and they've just been passed down from when these homes cost $40,000. And another interesting thing, she said the amount of grandparents that also had the other generation living in the houses with them is such a big part of the Palisades that people can't even comprehend. She also
all the
said
old school families, like none of us could afford to come here now. We can't.
No.
No, it's totally cool.
It's
to
a
get
different.
back into the Palisades after this is going to be pretty impossible.
So you moved. So
for
you
the
grew
people
up here
that
your whole life,
are born here.
basically.
Yeah, I think I was like 5 years old when they moved from Malibu. And the other thing about the affluent thing is she said there's the Tahitian Terrace, there's the Bowl. So that was like almost 1,000 affordable housing. She said there's also was 1,000 actual affordable housing, like apartments. She said there was, the list of all these people that aren't going to be able to come back. So we were all living the dream here. You guys, what a professional. Look at this. The hold for planes.
Maybe that's Biden coming in for another one of his talks.
Well, speaking of that update, we found out, which we always knew something was fishy with Air Force One, and we're still waiting on that. But now we know for a fact that because of Biden going and visiting Hunter, that there wasn't a single LAPD motorcycle cop available to help in any way on January 7th, and that is in the LAPD after action report. So they know the Palisades is burning down, and they don't go park him in a secure building or drive him back and say, hey, we need all these motorcycle cops to be helping with evacuations. And that is something that you lived. We had Maeve and Zach talk about that, but I feel like your level is even crazier because you had like the kids. And
I remember coming down the Highlands. Like I was in town at a Pilates class and I saw the smoke. Mason called me. Maeve, I only remember Maeve texted me because I have a screenshot of her text. I was like, I got to get home. This is bad. And I started driving and I saw the fireball and I called you guys at home and 2 of my kids were still home for winter break. So I said, get the suitcases out. We have a housekeeper. I was like, get Janet to get the suitcases out. I was home 5 minutes. I packed what I could, forgot my own bag. And I was at the bottom of the Highlands. I know because I took one picture at 11:30. The fire started at 10:30. So I had gone home, packed, and at the bottom, and it was stopped. There was no one. And I'm sitting with my 15-year-old in the car. Our 17-year-old at the time stayed with him because he didn't think he'd ever leave and he wanted to make sure our dogs got out. So I had the 15-year-old, all the luggage, and I get to like almost around Calvary Christian School and it's just stopped. Nothing. Not a firefighter, not a cop, nothing. And I look to my left and I just see fire roaring down the mountain. And then I look to my right and I see fire roaring down the mountain. I look up, the palm trees are on fire. Not a person in sight to help move anybody. So
I think
everybody.
that's where they were. They had held people. They were holding people.
Well,
down
so
at
I
the
got
bottom.
out of the car and
couldn't
started
see.
walking, and I was like on the news. People are sending me texts. I just took my like what I thought was my purse, but I had nothing in it, and walked to the corner. I saw people with babies. I saw nannies with babies. I saw old people with their caretakers. No one. I saw my neighbors. And I'm like, no one's coming. And then it hit me. No one's coming. So I told my son, I'm going to run back to the car and I got to get my important papers, which again, once I opened that box, there was nothing important in it. And I have a truck. So my truck has a cover on the back of the thing. And I just remember the car in front of me was on fire at this point, and somebody was screaming, it's going to blow. Don't get it. And my neighbor, Steve Gutenberg, happened to catch me having a full panic attack, helped me get 2 luggages out. My 15-year-old wouldn't walk with me back to the car. I met him at the corner, and I literally ran for my life to Gladstone's along with everyone else down there. Phone didn't work. Mike is up they stopped people from coming down the Highlands because now
they wouldn't
they
let me leave.
The whole thing
while.
was on fire.
They told us to shelter.
They didn't
in
let people
place.
down. So all the people in the Highlands got stuck at the top, and Sunset's not moving. Zach and Maeve were on Sunset, I think, where the Highlands comes out, but nothing was moving. I even saw my housekeeper. She was ahead of me. She inched and inched. She didn't get out, but she like turned as I was running. And I sat down there, and I remember thinking of Paradise, how all the people burned in their cars. And I had a thought, I had to keep calm for my 15-year-old. And I had a thought like, I'm not burning in my fucking car. Like, I'm not burning. Like, I have to get out. And then when I got to the water, all I could think of was Lahaina, which was our only place we ever vacationed. And I was like, well, the water's there. I guess I'm jumping in. And I waited there, I think like 3 hours. That's where they staged a lot of the firefighters, and they were not helping anybody. They were just sitting there in fire trucks. It's the weirdest thing. People were going up to them, giving them water bottles. And I'm sitting there like, I can't breathe. I have no mask. I can't see. I have no goggles.
It was like
my hair was turning
gray.
to like
I mean, it was
crunch.
Armageddon gray at
I
that
am
point.
watching Tremonto. I'm watching flames, and I'm just like, what is happening? Finally,
At that point, you could not see the sky.
no, it was
The
blackout.
sky was blacked out.
And I'm
That's
think-
when I decided at home with my 17-year-old and the dogs. I look up and I thought to myself, you know what? This is probably the time I should go.
Were they police escorting you down?
They
at
didn't.
that
They
time?
didn't let anybody down. They had police at the top saying, "The canyon's on fire. We're not letting anybody go. Stay in place, shelter in place." And we were kind of stuck.
But they
What about
weren't
the-
police, right? They were just volunteers, like
No,
city.
we actually had one. There was one.
Well, that was the one we got.
There was
from
one
Palisades.
police car.
Yeah, no,
That
there was
was-
the motorcycle cops that weren't allowed to leave.
It was one police car that happened to be in. I feel like he was in the area anyway, and so they would not let anybody come down. And then they started escorting maybe 10 cars at a time behind this one car, and they were, letting us follow the one car.
Why didn't they use the back? 'Cause
It was on fire.
It was on fire, so they
'Cause Lockman was on fire
They didn't
first.
open that gate. They closed that gate.
I would have smashed through that gate.
No, it was on
But
fire.
I watched
It
some
was
video.
it was
Somebody
on fire.
drove through the whole thing.
That's very close to where the fire actually popped off.
Like it all connects up there.
It was right above that road, that little road that goes through to Bienvenida, or like the top of Lockman.
You would have thought they would have had that fire road with such fire breaks that it actually wasn't like the emergency
That
exit.
road is skinnier than this lot. It's way
And
smaller than
that's
you
the
think.
emergency to get out of there.
And it's only one car one way. Like there's no two cars can pass each other. It's one car one way, one car the other way.
And then all I could think of was getting to my kid that was at school in Santa Monica. And how am I going to get to him? And school's going to let out and he's not going to know. And so,
We sent my parents to go get him.
and then like those, then
So here's a kid who went to school in the morning
just
and
never
came out
home.
to his grandparents to have lost everything that he's ever known.
Well, technically, now I'm going to get upset. Technically, our house was still there.
At that time, he was still there.
Our house didn't burn till Wednesday night at 6:45
Correct.
p.m. because Chuck Hart sent us the video that when he drove by.
Correct.
Our-
Shout out to Hartbill Construction.
So that's what Sue was saying on the thing. The biggest investigation that no one's talking about is the January 8th fire, because
Correct.
that's a different
That's a
fire
whole
than the
nother
January
ballgame.
7th.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
It-
we had
We watched our business burn on the news first on the 7th. That evening, we saw our business burning on channel
I knew
7.
your house. Mike maybe talked to you or saw something you posted. I knew Lindsay's house on Enchanted. I knew my other friend Sarah on Los Leones, and I'm like thinking, how did it get from the Highlands to Chautauqua? How is my store on fire right now?
I tried to go back. Well, after the store burned that night, the very next morning, I attempted I'm born and raised in the Palisades. I know every vein to get in, to get out, to sneak around, any way that you possibly could was completely blocked off. And they were threatening arrest if you tried to break any of the...
But wait, how
any
crazy
of
is
the
this?
ways to
One of
get
our
in.
neighbors did sneak in. He went to the pastor
Walked.
at Calvary.
He walked in.
And the Calvary pastor drove him up to where we lived, and they went in our gates. And I have a video at 3 p.m. on Wednesday of my next door neighbor's house burning, but my house is there. And then the house behind me burning. So there's like 80 homes in our community. We all started calling 911 because there's a man who lived behind me whose house burned down that, I think I told you this, doesn't leave his house. He's an older man. And so we were like, he's in his house. There's a person in their house is on fire, and we were all told there's no one to come.
We had checked into a hotel in Santa Monica, which eventually, long story short, got evacuated. They called our hotel room after about an hour and 40 minutes and said, we are now deciding to evacuate this hotel. The fire is approaching Santa Monica. So we were like, we're out of here. We went down south where my sister lives. So that's a whole nother dispatch. When you call 911, you get into a different dispatch. People were calling 911 from LA, from Santa Monica, Palisades, wherever, and they were being put on hold. They were not getting through. So because I called 911 from another dispatcher, they got me through to Cal Fire right away, LA Fire. So at that point, I was able to give them my address, tell them my house is just starting to smolder. Can you please send some kind of resources?
The guy was in his house. The guy is in
his
house.
But I
it is
called
on fire.
From myself separately to say.
I understand, but the point is, they're supposed to be saving lives. I understand they let the structures go. I understand that mentality, and that's just what it is, life or death. But this was a life or death, and they still had nobody available.
No resources
3
available.
p.m. on the Wednesday. No wind.
So I've been trying to get the 911 calls. When I called 911 because we couldn't reach my dad on January 7th at 5 o'clock, when there was so much action, you could have easily, to get to his street, there's 5 ways into it.
Yeah.
It's not one way. And I called 911 and they said, what's the address? And they're like, oh, no one is going into that area. I'm like, no, my dad isn't picking up. He could have hit his head. He could have
He could be
smoked.
dead.
You need to send an emergency, you're 911. I didn't just call Palisades Patrol. Go in there, no one is going. And I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. And then here's the best part. He finally, his phone was dead, and he gets out of there, and I'm like, well, was it hard to get out? He's like, no, just driving on Swarthmore. Totally.
He did say everything was on fire.
Yeah,
he said the
things were on
cars
fire,
were
but,
blowing up next to him as he's driving out.
As in he's
there
70-something
was
years old
nobody.
and could drive away. He didn't need some,
Thank God.
some type of special emergency vehicle.
Thank God.
But where were they?
But that's the same thing, you're saying on the 8th, which is so unbelievable. It's well, why didn't they at least try with some of the water, with some of the resources on the 8th? They could have saved half the town.
By then, they could have had a water truck.
And I think Spencer's posted this, the weather report, the wind was down the next day.
No, there's tons of videos. I have videos on the 8th of moms walking by Methodist preschool, walking in front of Palisades. I'm you see the bushes, there's no wind. They're just you think it's over. And then 2 hours later, Methodist is burned down. Palisades Elementary is burned down. But I have so much video evidence of there's not a single fire truck on the street. So,
Nothing.
And again, I always go back to because people all day long send me these stories about, their actual situations with firefighters. And I always say, it's a command structure. So obviously they got the orders to literally do nothing. So you can't really be mad at the guy. Their job is to listen to the battalion chiefs, and the battalion chiefs listen to who's ever in the emergency. So there was clearly the call.
An order.
Do not try to save a single house. Don't bring water in. And that's what I'm so excited about the congressional investigation, because I think it's the only way we're going to find out why they didn't try to put out any fire. I get the 7th. It got overwhelmed. It happened too fast.
I can't wait to see people squirm in their chairs to answer some of these questions. That will be enough satisfaction for me, almost. To just see them.
Teeny bit.
I just don't
to see
think
them
they
squirming.
care. I don't think they squirm. I don't think they care. I think they know that they have zero accountability, that they're not going to have anything happen to them. They fully got away with this. This is a conspiracy. It's no. You guys are all responsible. You should all be in jail. And this is
Jail.
unbelievable.
They should not be trying to prosecute some Uber driver.
Right.
They should be being prosecuted
like the
themselves.
dumbest.
It's the biggest scapegoat thing in history from
History.
6 days earlier.
You can't tell me you can find
knew
a criminal.
It from day one. You knew it was. The
You can find a
reignition.
criminal
You knew.
hiding in a crawl space with a thermal imaging of a helicopter
all
but
night
you
long,
can't-
every
all night
day,
long, every day.
on the Fox News.
But you can't drive over the burn scar and see thermally that there's heat.
You don't even need to. These hikers were
You can
sending
see the
videos.
smoke.
They were just smoldering.
Yeah.
So, that's just mind-boggling. And what's so infuriating is we as taxpayers have created a situation where what people don't get. My older sister did not get this, and she went to a birthday or something. And when the text messages all came out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is it! Like somebody's gonna have accountability." And now I had told my older sister, like, "No, the LAFD has full immunity. They can literally let your town burn down. You can die, and they're immune." And my older sister was like, "That's not true." I'm like, "It is true. Trust me. The only time they cannot have immunity is if you die like in their ambulance or so. Like the only way we could ever have accountability is if the ambulance guys were all responsible for the town." But that's the most mind-boggling thing that I keep going back to. Like, what do we pay taxes for if these people that are supposed to give us these
water.
protections and the water, and then they say, "Oh, that water was for drinking. It was never
Who
for."
drinks from that water?
Nobody.
What are you talking about drinking?
I
What
don't
drinking
understand
water does the
that.
city
Even if it
provide
was,
us?
it's
first of all?
116 million. That's enough to drink and then put the fire out. If that was,
What was so crazy to me about the Santa Ynez water thing is everyone's like, "Oh, it's been under repair for a year." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have lived there looking at it. It has been empty for decades. So then I went on Google Maps and you could see it. There's a picture of it. Since 2011, it's been empty. Maybe not all the way empty, but definitely not full. Since 2011, it was not anything they were working. They abandoned that a long time ago. They put the fill station in when there was the fire November 13th at the reservoir. They were bringing helicopters from somewhere else.
no, they were using
put out-
tenders.
They were using the fill station,
But they were
there,
filling it with the
filling
tenders.
it
They were
with-
driving trucks of water
At
next to the empty reservoir.
Yeah.
So they know a year ago how important water up there. So
And that was a homeless-
I don't
that was
even
a
know
homeless person
if
who
the
started that
government
fire.
is like a business, everyone would be fired. I don't understand. This is the biggest business that we fund with our taxpayer dollars. That's where their money comes from, and they literally did nothing. I'm gonna break out my list.
yeah,
GWP gets paid from their fees that they charge for our services. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. a
which
tax-
is already this
they're
weird
not- that's not a
Chinatown
tax
thing because it's the
income.
government makes us use LADWP.
Yes,
so it's not like it's a private company that's forced onto us as if it was like
They're like the
like a city.
There's like the
No, it's
Sopranos
mafia.
waste management.
Well,
like,
yeah, we're
mafia. Yeah.
okay. If they're not the government, then I want a different water supply. But it has to come through them.
I think as shocking as that is the amount of people who still stand behind them and can't say they were wrong or did a bad job.
You know what?
It's
I know.
shocking.
I mean, we're-
It's like
I don't want to get political,
no,
but I think
but
people
it's shocking.
have such hate
it's
for
shocking.
our president
That's
that
it.
they do not want to speak against any Democrat.
And they're separate things,
No.
and it's not the same.
That's-
It's like you
Yeah.
need to hold them accountable
Yes.
for this circumstance, for this situation. Who cares about anything
Exactly.
else? We're not talking about America and which political side are you on. We're talking about the negligence and the responsibility
Yes.
that we have as California tax-paying citizens in our
and
town
the services
with
that
our
we're
people.
entitled to for what we
Yeah.
give for those services.
Exactly.
It's so simple.
Right.
Any
The
person-
Palisades
Making
has
it
been
bigger than
used
it
as a
is.
piggy bank for so long.
Well, here's
We've
the
only
crazy.
had one police car that drives through our community for
We
the
share it
last
with Brentwood.
30 years that we've shared with Brentwood. I mean, it's just
While everyone's
crazy.
getting home invasions and
right. We're
jacked
getting
and
home invasions,
robbed.
jacked. I mean,
squatters.
squatters,
Oh,
robberies.
breaking news! Breaking news! Breaking news! We have just been informed. This is factual. In the Pacific Palisades, there's for sure one confirmed right now.
Squatter
Squatters.
on a lot, not even in a house.
On a lot.
Just on an empty, just like this, somebody just set themselves up and will not leave. And I can't say who it is, and we need to
Yeah.
protect
yeah,
the
yeah.
privacy.
But it's for sure 100%.
And what did the cops say?
she
The
has
cops
to
can't do anything because
You have to do a formal eviction.
like these people they
Yeah.
can come up with paperwork that says that they're allowed to be there, whether it's fake paperwork or not. So if something is provided, they have to go through the proper channels to get them removed, which is totally insanity.
It's really.
I'm just saying.
It's it's.
Come on and squat on my
Allegedly.
property. I would love for you
I
to
think
come and squat on my property.
They're just trying to make it so hard to live in California, which is so shocking because maybe they're trying to make the whole country this. I don't know the agenda, but it's really hard to live here and to stay here. And it's like, I want to fight the fight and I want to be here and I love California and I always had the California dream of living here. But it's like, it's ridiculous. It's literally
It's so ridiculous.
crazy town.
But
It is.
your
Feels
dad,
crazy.
who loves California and loved Colorado so much, he
Mm-hmm.
would argue that Colorado is now becoming California.
Yeah.
So you can't think, and that's what I learned going to DC and just talking to people, you know, you can't assume like, oh, I'm going to leave if what's happening here can easily go to other places. So what you got to do is stop it. And that's why I'm so excited that I'm actually now working on a new project besides the fire documentary. I'm now involved on a documentary to expose the homeless industrial complex because it connects with the fire industrial
Because the
complex.
affordable
what
housing
was it?
and all the money
740 million
from
from
ULA.
the Palisades for
No,
ULA.
Yeah, that's just UL, but for sure, this is the number that just made me like, no matter who you are, if you have a brain, that Newsom has taken 25 billion and then made increased homeless. 25 billion.
Well, the whole Palisades homeless now.
No, but like think about 25 billion. Like this guy was telling me, like that's some of the biggest companies in the world are valued at 25 billion, and you can't. So it's just a crazy.
I can so relate to the people that have that hatred to Donald Trump. You know, like they will just no matter what, they will speak against Donald Trump because they hate him. I can relate because I feel that way about Gavin Newsom.
No,
This guy has
But I think
taken
it's so-
such liberties and advantages. I mean, it's
Please tell me you didn't
it's
get plastic
crazy.
surgery to pull out the apple.
Oh no, that's all God's
One thing I really wish when I was hiking up here to first see our burnout lot, and I was walking up here with a paparazzi, and this paparazzi was trying to give me like mental health, you know, try to prep me. I wish they had just told me about Rula, because I feel like online therapy should be way easier to access. I shouldn't have to be talking my heart out to a paparazzi. I should be able to just like, hey, I'm going to go use Rula.
I mean, it's amazing because there's no wait list. It really eliminates like a lot of frustration. It makes it easy to find mental health physicians and providers who are accepting new patients. Plus, it sticks with you through your journey to check in and make sure that your care is great. Well, it's also like $15 per average. Yeah. So it's very affordable too, accessible.
When your house burns down or any natural disaster, some like Rula should be offered. I mean, to this day, I have to vent on TikTok, and I should be able to just spend $15. And they have like 15,000.
Yeah,
possible
Rula has
therapists?
partners of a network of over 15,000 therapists, physicians nationwide, enabling you to find your personal solution and the right therapist based on you according to your needs.
Finding a therapist is hard, but finding one who actually takes your insurance, that's where most online therapy platforms fall short. Many don't work with insurance at all, which means you are stuck paying the full cost out of pocket or paying for an expensive monthly subscription.
That's right. So make sure that you check it out. Thousands of people are already using a Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that's actually covered by insurance. Make sure you visit Rula.com/fame, F-A-M-E, to get started.
No wait lists, no frustrating back and forth. Rula makes it easy to find a mental health provider who is accepting new patients, and appointments are available as soon as tomorrow. Plus, Rula sticks with you throughout your journey, checking in to make sure your care is helping you move forward. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that's actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/fame to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked, how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you. That's Rula, RULA.com/fame, FAME. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. The difference is, like, I'll post something that's like so factual about our houses burning down, and somebody will be like, shut up, idiot, and I'll like click in to block them, and it's just like all anti-Trump stuff. It's like, so if I don't go past the stuff that actually affects me, so this person won't even hear something to now because Newsom's talking smack about Trump, but they didn't like Newsom 4 months ago before he started running for president.
Right.
It's just now that he's the Trump publicist,
Antithesis
the
of
anti,
Trump.
so they're like, oh, I'm with him.
These
It's like,
these trolls just jump on the next like flow that
It's
they can.
really-
It's sad.
That they can,
It's
harp
really
about.
sad. It's not about the issue anymore.
they don't-
It's
it's
just
gang
about the
shit.
hatred for the other person,
like
and
Bloods,
nothing.
Crips.
Yeah,
good
it's
is
Bloods
good.
and
It's
Crips.
misinformation. It's like a
Yes.
switch and bait. They're totally not taking accountability and responsibility for how much they've messed up and how horrific and awful and disgusting and disturbing they are and what they're doing. And they're like, oh, just look at Trump. It has nothing to do with Trump, Republican, Democrat. It has to do with how irresponsible and awful they are at their jobs.
That's it.
That's
You
it.
work
That's
for
it.
an entity. If you don't do your job for
That's
that
right.
entity, you get fired.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
or reprimanded or something.
And blackballed in this case from
And
the industry.
these guys just get to roll over
Right.
and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And there's no consequence
Right.
whatsoever.
Right.
well, they blame it on climate change.
They blame it on each other.
They deflect.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing.
Like
they
the
It's all-
fire
they're-
department blames it on. Yeah.
FEMA.
It's just
this and-
one big giant deflection after the next.
Yeah, the problem
And who
is rich
suffers?
people
Right,
fund
we
these
do.
people. And these unions, like with this Prop 50, yes, scam, whatever. Like, bottom line is, that was all just money. They put, like, people are like, how did this pass? I'm like, because they had commercials during the World Series baseball that's like, stop Trump.
Besides being a curse, I think that truly, like, my biggest like takeaway from this whole experience is that we're on our own. No one cares about us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
people
I
hate
never-
you, actually.
People hate us,
Yeah,
but I never understood, like, in Malibu, like, everyone's like, we don't leave, or like Keegan did the brigade and like all that. I'm like, we are on our own. Not only are we on our own, we are fighting for each and every step. We are fighting to clean our lots. We are fighting to not have 9-story buildings
Fighting to rebuild.
right next door. We are
It's
fighting with
taken
our
us,
insurance.
almost 8 months to get.
We're 10 months. We have all of our plans. We have all of our permits, and we don't have the money that our insurance
After
we're
all
insured
the
for.
fighting to get the plans to even rebuild and solidify a contractor when they're so busy, they're like, if you're not ready to build, we're going to move on to the next person. Our insurance company, State Farm, has not been like a good neighbor and has still withheld the money that we require to rebuild. If we don't get the policy limit, which is
can't
what
rebuild.
we paid for, we can't afford it.
Do you
we
have
can't
that lawyer?
rebuild.
And by law, I found out they don't actually even have to give you the policy.
Well, don't
limit.
tell me that.
You should
No,
give them
right?
that lawyer.
They're right now. I think they're.
We
I think it's
we
cooked.
have
That's what I
we
mean.
have
They
a
legally
name
pay for
of
something.
a lawyer. I would
Insurance
like
is
to
such a
not
scam.
do that. I would hope that they would be like their commercial and be like a good neighbor.
They're not.
They're
and
not.
They're not.
just
You
do
gotta
what they're
get some
supposed to
lawyers.
do. But I will have to take legal action, which again will cost us money.
Yeah.
And
So we
which
fight
point,
the insurance. We fight.
At which point, if they take a too big of a percentage of the money, we won't be able to rebuild.
We had to pay a lawyer to get our California fair penalty limit that can't even put in enough to put the beams in the ground that we now have to be up to code that weren't here before. So that lawyer then, because it's his job and he did a great job and got the money they were trying to fight and even give us, he then took his percentage.
Right.
So not like, again,
That's exactly where
so
we are.
It's like you're breaking off the money that you need to even get them.
And for what? What's going to be here? Like, we were just talking about this. Like, who's come? Like, at first it was like, okay, all the people that are like 75 and older, they're not going to wait for it. They're not going to wait for it to come back.
They
that
want
that
quality
makes
of
sense. They
life.
need to
Nobody
go. They
wants to
only
wait
have
that
however
long.
many years left. Then I was like, wait a minute. All my older kids' friends, like that have now the kids are gone to college and they're like empty nesters. They don't want their 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house anymore. They're going to go get an apartment in Century City, go travel. Like, they're done. Okay, fine. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody with kids in school. Now we moved all these kids to these new schools from Manhattan Beach to
A lot of them
Malibu
don't
to
want to go
wherever
back
you go.
to the
Like,
school.
they make a new
They've
life.
now made new friends and a new life.
Well, that's what I keep saying to Spencer. And I'm like, if you could live, and I asked him on the way here, I'm like, if you could live anywhere, where would you live? And he's like, I want to live here. And then I'm thinking like, yeah, but what about our kids now? What about our kids who are starting a new life in a new school, and we're going to uproot them again in a few years to come back here to what, you know?
And then what is going to be the people who like are taking advantage, not taking advantage, it's their opportunity to get into the
That's
Palisades
fair
for $1
statement.
million lot.
Opportunists that can get in, you know, that they've always wanted to get in, and this might be their opportunity. But bottom line is the Palisades will change from what we
Because we can't
have become accustomed
afford.
to.
Like, we were already scraping by to just be here.
So I just had a meeting with a
exactly.
big developer because they kind of wanted to like gauge, like if I was going to be against development of like building houses in the Palisades. So I took the meeting to hear what they were saying because I was like, you know, I'd be down if you put, you know, figure out a way to add underinsured and senior citizens in. And I was like, well, I don't see how that's happening. He's like, the Palisades is over. Like what you guys know, the Palisades is gone. Like you need to start thinking about the new Palisades and get something built. So like from a developer standpoint, they're just like,
He's right.
yeah, he's like,
It's like the hardest-
he's like, you're
get
in
it.
La La Land if you think,
Yeah.
he's like, that's not happening.
Our
And
community
like-
has changed forever,
right,
no matter what
right,
we.
Right.
No matter what
there
we
was
wanna
a
say or do
culture
about it.
in the Palisades. There was a community. There was a spirit. There was an essence. There was a oneness. You know, there was a camaraderie. There are people who
It was
could
regular
call.
people. There were, of course, the richer people that, you know, had come in, bought their 10, 12, $20 million home, and they went to Gelson's like the rest of us. But I think our community was
It's
like,
not to say that regular
that.
people won't be coming here. It just won't be the community that grew here. That's
I mean,
been
I'll tell
growing
you,
They
for
can't
30,
I'll tell you they're
40
not coming
years.
because the developer, the one that I was talking to, all the houses that they're planning on building are into the $6 to $8 million range.
Correct.
So they're
Yeah.
buying these dirt lots that are undervalued, and they're going to put 6 to 8. So what regular person is buying a $6 to $8 million house and then ready for the best part? Do you know how much it would cost to insure
Insurance.
a $6 to $8 million house now in the Palisades? What regular person could do that?
That's
The
there's-
only insurance
there's
you have is, like,
there's
Chubb
no regular person
or California Fair Plan. You
even
literally,
California Fair Plan's about to go fully bankrupt, so who knows if that's going to be around in a year.
well,
I mean,
that's an unfair
there are
plan
rumors
anyway.
that they are trying to work with the insurance companies to have them come back here, but it'll just be money.
The worst
they'll
about
just
the
charge
insurance,
more money.
the worst is that the insurance companies that dropped everybody, we were being dropped by State Farm on January 28th.
We literally by the hair on our chinny chin
I was
chin
signing
even
my-
have insurance at all.
We were signing our California Fair Plan on January 7th. And I said, I don't want to put my credit card number on the email. She goes, wait and see if your house burns down. Literally, that was my conversation. So State Farm had to keep us. But we were all dropped because
Of
somebody
GPS,
went to
a drone.
No,
was a
to
drone.
the guy, the insurance commissioner, and said, we know the
Laura.
insurance companies went to the
Commissioner
insurance
Laura.
company.
Yeah, but they didn't even come into the town. They used a drone and they just flew over and they're like, oh, GPS coordinates, all these houses. So
Right,
like,
but they knew.
Oh, yeah.
They knew
Of
a
course.
fire was coming. They knew Newsom didn't take care of the state parks. They
Yeah.
knew this catastrophic event was going to happen, and they wanted to raise rates. I will be really honest. When we first bought the house that we were living in that burned down, it was in 2020. We had a brand new house, by the way. My final inspection was scheduled for January 9th.
Lived in it for 18 months.
while it was like still like,
Yeah.
you were like
So
building inside.
the
I was still just finished the outdoor
nightmare
kitchen.
are
Just got your grill.
Just got the
literally
grill.
our contractor bailed us. We moved in. It was a nightmare, but whatever. My first year of insuring that property was $14,000 for the year. The second year, which would have been 2022 or 2023, it went up to $21,000. The next year it went up to $28,000 and something. I'm like, I don't think I can afford
Then we
to
had
live here.
Then we had
With
to
the
move.
mortgage.
Then we moved insurance.
So then they
companies.
changed me to State Farm.
Yeah.
State Farm, I don't know how much. It was way less than the $14,000. It wasn't like State Farm wanted to raise it a crazy amount, by the way. Like, the insurance commissioner didn't let the insurance companies who knew this was going to happen raise our insurance. In hindsight, $20,000 a year for insurance compared to the millions that we just lost. We had all of our money in that house, and it literally burned to the ground, and I have insurance for it for the full amount to rebuild it, and they don't give it to us. My money just burned, and it could have so easily been, okay, we're going to pay more for insurance. Okay, the insurance companies aren't going to go bankrupt, but our insurance commissioner
companies can't go
said no.
bankrupt.
No,
have
you can't
secondary
raise the
insurance.
rent.
That's how Warren
you can't
Buffett
raise
became
the-
so rich.
Well, I
Warren
bet the
Buffett
state
owns
would
the
just bail
largest
them out
secondary
anyways.
insurance company
They're
in
going to
the
get
world.
bailed out. And guess who pays for that? Our
Us.
tax money. Guess what? When we sue them, our tax money's paid. Everything, it's just...
It's like a bad Ponzi scheme.
It's a bad Ponzi scheme. That's exactly right.
Like just right there.
Scam.
Here's how crazy it is. So we asked the congressional investigation. We asked the city council to turn over some documents. They have 500 attorneys that we already pay with our tax money, and instead they go to a private law firm and spend $900,000 to then deal with the congressional investigation to send those documents that they should just have. It's like those are public records.
What about the deleting?
Oh, Karen Bass is deleting her messages.
Karen
And-
Bass, the fire people, didn't they delete
Oh.
their... Like, everybody just... Wasn't us, no comment. That's what kills me, too. The LA Times article, it's like, oh, when we called, no comment. Oh, we just let everybody fucking lose everything. We lost everything that we knew. I just saw Heidi for the first time, and I cry when I see the people for the first time after the fire. Like, I can't help it. But, like, we lost not just our home, not just our belongings, not just our sentimental things, not just our schools, not just our income, our store. We lost our market. We lost our doctors, my dentist, my orthodontist, the hair, everything we know. And these people have no fucking comment. No comment. Oh, we just let it smolder. Oops, no comment.
It's crazy.
Some
Whoa.
of this stuff just drives me so insane
Well, because
on
nobody
what they're concentrating on,
nobody
feel
what
like
cares
they've
about
moved on
Palisades.
to.
But
But
also,
nobody
like,
cares about Altadena either. So it's like they don't care
Yeah.
about the Palisades because we're rich, supposedly, which we obviously know we're not. But like, I'll never forget when like Hurricane Katrina came, and I had a friend who said they've left New Orleans. It's because
Yeah.
this or that. So then we all thought, oh, that could never happen here because
Right.
we're Palisades.
Right.
They don't care. They don't care if you're rich. They don't care if you're poor. They don't care if you're black. They don't care if you're white. They don't care anything. They just care about their pockets. Is what it
right,
feels like
and
to
their
me.
agenda. And also, here's the craziest part. That happened. The number one priority should be making sure we have water in this town and in the towns again.
Forever again.
There's no water. Nobody's still putting water or prioritizing filling them up. Look at our streets. We can't even drive up our street.
Holes.
What is going on with the streets? You
That's
can't.
called the
but
Army
there's
Corps of Engineers.
well, they
Yeah.
should pay to
Yeah.
come and put cement. It's insane. There's all this
The city
stupid
doesn't
construction
have the
going on
dollar
and
to fill a
How?
Palisades.
Yeah.
How
It's
does
insane.
They
this
have
city
$1
not?
billion
They're
deficit
sitting-
in
because
their
they
budget
spend $1
because
million
they
on
overspent.
per homeless person instead of
Yeah.
They have it was like $1 million a person.
They
You
think
saw
that
that
the
Tracy Park
Army
getting
Corps
so
did
mad
us a
at that
favor.
one.
The Army Corps, I mean, I don't even want to get into the Army Corps and the things that
Scam.
they
Another
did.
scam.
But they need to
Another,
fix our streets. We need to
governmental
fix our
contract
water.
that was overpaid, overcharged for lots to be cleared. Took money from insurance companies when they said it was going to be free. I mean, they did so much damage in the alphabet streets to the curbs and the streets.
What are you talking about?
including your street.
Have you seen Baylor and Sunset? You
It's
can't even
destroyed
turn.
from the big machinery
Yeah.
that they use to clear the lots. No one's coming to fix that.
No.
There's no one coming to fix.
And they're saying
Okay.
one thing and they're doing the other. And that's what's so
Yes.
infuriating. You're lying, just saying whatever you want to appease everybody, to look good, to sound good, and you're doing nothing. How is there no accountability for what's going on?
It's been almost
There's
a
so many
year.
people
Right. It looks
that are
the
like,
same.
Oh, the Army Corps, they're so great, and look what they helped. How did they help us? Look what they did. And
I mean,
think-
in their
really, like-
defense, if they didn't show up,
No.
there would be all debris. So like, there's
Yeah,
two.
they did a good
If
job
we're
on
gonna-
the house.
If we're going off of Newsom and Bass, we'd be sitting in
but
debris. So technically, I can't
it all
hate.
it all depends on what sub you got, right?
Yeah, we got a guy.
We got a
good
This
guy.
We got a really good guy.
Postmates, you know, the email would go out, and the next sub in line would take the address and show up to the address
we got lucky.
and do the job.
We did.
Some people got lucky, and they will praise their.
This guy texted me last night,
You know?
checking in. He's like, Archon, the guy who like did this.
No way.
Oh, he's like and he's like the
He
crystal I
extra
took
did
from the
things.
dirt. I look at every night. He was taking photos of the hummingbird. So it's like our experience
And some people
Was
had
it-
their footings buried
hidden under
dirt.
yeah, like
You know, it's like
so then
And-
then they had to pay for
and
it.
I
with, like,
actually rode around with Colonel Swenson, who was in charge in the beginning there, you know, and I asked him flat out, because in our community, we own the streets and we own the curbs, 'cause it's a gated community. And so things that get damaged come out of our homeowners association budget. And he was like, I can, you know, drive around and kind of show face and, you know, introduce myself, but I don't know what subs are on what lots at what times. It was totally at random.
oh, I mean, that's
Look,
what I've
but I
learned.
think
It's like
what
a
you're
bad
saying-
group project.
But
Yeah.
but what he's saying, without them,
I get
it would
it.
have been even worse.
Fully cooked.
But why did we have to like let it to chance? Like, you might get a good one, you might get a bad one. Like,
I
what
think
kind of
that-
Why
I
are we
think that-
even
what
here?
kind of
Like,
system is
what
that?
Yeah.
even is this?
That's
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
That's why I keep
It's
wanting
in-
to come back to here, because, and I always said to Heidi, she's like, why do you want to do that a lot? I'm like, because if we don't keep doing this, people think Heidi's song blew up and they're fine.
Right.
And
You're rich
she's
now.
all do. She's a pop
Yeah.
star because everyone was playing it on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh no, if we were rich pop stars, you would see some pilings going in here
Yeah,
right now.
100%.
And so I just want to forever, because I don't see any, I'll be here so they never can just make this go away, because that's what they've done by the no comments. If they can always do no, that's the thing. I'm talking to NBC
Spencer-
Nightly News, and I'm like, why aren't you calling this battalion chief and asking him, if all these firefighters are saying they said don't do that, why don't you ask him why he did? He's like, oh, we did. They said there's no comments pending investigations. Like, they only made this investigation because of the LA Times thing. There was no investigation.
And that was only because of you.
yeah, but
If
regardless,
honestly you didn't do what you're doing, honestly, I don't think a lot. This would have just been buried. Nobody would have done. Honest to God, I think you are the sole reason that LA Times article came out, that they are doing.
oh, because I literally fight with like community people that'll like call me, message me, and they'll be like, I think you're being a little too hard on Karen Bass. And I go, excuse me? Like, have you ever heard, like, you don't get lemons from lemonade? Like, dumb old Sam. I'm like, lose my number, you stupid idiot. She doesn't care about you. We're in dirt lots. You think all of a sudden now, if I'm going to be nicer, we're just going to come rebuild our
the same
house?
thing happens to me. Don't say anything bad about the Army Corps. Don't say anything about this entity. Don't say anything bad about that entity.
I think we're all entitled to
like-
our
Oh
opinions.
my God. But it's like people are scared. Oh, if you tell the truth, they're going to not do some. What are they not going to do? They're not going to burn your house down again? You
Her
stupid
face off that
idiots.
plane from Ghana, her face, I will
Oh, it's the
never.
best. Thank God for that British journalist who's like, don't you have anything to say? And she's just like,
frozen.
It sucks. I mean, people are scared to speak. People are scared about their career.
Yawning.
People are scared for their future. But like, they took mine. They took. I feel like my whole life just got taken. You know, like, give a comment, take accountability, even just say sorry. Like,
oh.
anything.
Yeah.
Like,
No, instead they
And then
say,
go to jail.
They don't say sorry. They say we're all healing. Everyone's
If they
healing.
say sorry, that implies some liability. They
'Cause
apologize for
that's
something
the
that they
society
did.
we
But they have
live in,
immunity, so they could, like, LAFD should be, since they have immunity, they should just be like the main. Every one of these top people should be like writing out what they did wrong.
I feel
You
so
know,
bad. I feel so bad. Do you know how many
have heard
DMs?
of some individual firefighters that were giving apologies. Some of them were
No,
genuinely.
the people on the foot. I'm talking the higher command.
yeah,
they're
the higher
not.
command is not.
No,
because they don't.
I had one on the phone,
they don't
and
wanna,
he was
they
just
don't
like,
want to have any
he
liability.
was like, it was out. And I go, I just bit my tongue in my head. I'm like, are you the dumbest idiot on planet Earth?
Obviously it wasn't.
Like, hello, it wasn't out, buddy. But he was arguing me on the phone. I was like, oh,
I have
okay,
people
all right.
DMing me like, those firefighters should have stopped working out at Jetty and been up there and taken it on their own. But like, the fire department is like a military kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they start doing whatever they want, there's no order to things. So that blows up their whole entire structure. You can't do that. Do I wish 2 of them maybe would have like been like, oh, let me go up there with a hose, but they can't use state paid for or city paid for.
They can't take
tools.
the engine up there.
They can't
Everything's
just
trapped.
like
They can't buy any gas.
But
without
I
permission.
think if I were a firefighter and I saw that happening, I would take my own mask and I would go with a
I
hose
agree.
to every house and just try myself. I really do.
Well,
if
no,
I
I
had
think
that equipment,
while it was
I would
smoldering.
just try.
While
I
it
can
was
tell you,
smoldering.
So there's an argument that this is because I went to lunch with this
I'm
guy
buying
Mark.
my equipment. I'm
and he's-
buying my pumps. I'm never evacuating again. I don't care if the cops show up and try to pull me away. I will never evacuate.
I mean, you
again.
should.
So
Shouldn't.
Spencer was already saying that before with the Malibu fire. He's like, we got to get our own hose. We got to get our own
Yeah.
truck. We got to get our own
we had
equipment.
Keegan come and like do a whole
Yeah, I'm
assessment
gonna
of our
install
thing.
into
But
my.
then
But I
didn't
didn't
order
do
anything.
I didn't do it because it was so much money. I was like, oh my God, we're out of money.
The
How-
hoses.
You can have these barrels on the side of your house. It lasts for a year. It'll last for a year if there's no water. Water's its enemy. So if you spray it in the hotter summer months, it will last through as long as we don't get a lot of rain here in California. But I saw some insane videos of them spraying it on carpet, and half the carpet burning and the other half does not ignite. So there's a lot of things now popping up. It looks like milk.
No matter what, even with all that, unless our state starts doing fire breaks,
which they used to.
so if they don't start doing that, if we don't have a real governor come in, get rid of these CARB people and go after the Coastal Commission, all these environmental people, and just literally, be like, no, that is over.
It's
we
done.
care more about people burning alive than milk velch or a lizard, a green lizard or
Oh my
whatever,
God,
which they
that-
all die and they all burn. So
I just had to do a biological report as part of the permit.
To see like what
to
I
see
don't know,
what kind of,
mushrooms aren't coming back. I don't know.
Butterflies and worms and
Literally.
things that might be affected by our bill.
Another $2,000 just for
was a
bullshit.
$2,000 biological report for organisms around the property.
This is insanity.
Yeah.
It's
Our architect
it's
had never
out
heard of it.
idiocracy.
It's-
like
I've
I've
that.
never heard of it.
I've never heard. The first time we've ever heard of anything like it. $2,000.
What
to
I
have
don't
somebody
really
do that
get
report.
on-
We by the way had a hard time finding someone that even does that report.
What I don't get is like what is the goal here? Like
Right.
burn us up. Like what is the goal? Is
Right.
is it for the builders to make money? Is it like why?
I think it's all of the above.
The
I think
affordable housing, what-
California has a housing shortage.
No, it doesn't. I talked to your dude on the phone, that one guy that you made me.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say
They say
it
that.
has
You
a
gotta
shortage.
say they say there's
They
a
say
shortage.
there's a shortage.
There's not.
And developers want to develop. Developers pay fees and taxes and kickbacks to be
That's
approved.
the key word.
So it's
for
just
their-
money. Follow the money and
They
you
need to
figure
be
out
approved for these projects, and cities have to approve these projects. And so that's what this is about.
well,
Well,
now,
like look at in Santa Monica, I went to high school with this kid, Jesse Zwick, and he was part of the community city council there, and he pushed through this housing stuff or whatever. Ends up, they find out he was getting paid by one of these lobbyist groups, like over $100K without, whatever.
That's what it is.
So then push this into the city council, and now everyone, and it's already through, and then they find out, and everyone's all mad. But it's like that Scott Wiener that just pushed SB 79 in. Let's watch how many of these developers bankroll his running for Congress in the Pelosi seat. So it's just like everyone's just getting money and pushing. It's all just like
So money is
mafia,
the-
cartel.
money's the end
Yeah.
game.
also the international community, they're coming in and buying up our
Yeah.
state, our country, everything. It's like the Chinese are coming in and buying it up. Like these are enemy territories, quote unquote, that are coming in and
It's
buying
so
up our
scary.
assets.
I'm
It's
so
scary.
scared for my
It is
kids.
scary.
Like where are we going though?
Right.
Like
And our city officials are down for all this.
Oh,
Right.
Because they know that money is going to trickle to them in the way of developments and city approvals and permits and taxes, and they're
But
like,
here's the thing, you guys,
cool with
like
it.
look at Paradise and look at Lahaina. Those are the only two that I can compare this to. They're not rebuilt
Right.
at all.
Right.
So who made the money there? Honestly, ask yourself, like Paradise
Well, I mean,
Lost. More.
Lahaina will be. You know, you got
Lahaina-
it's like 20 years from now.
Lahaina's
It's like
being really restrictive on what they're allowing, which
Good.
is how it should be.
no, I've heard different that it's like you can't even see what's going on in there, and it's like they took out everyone's land. You know, I got so many people messaging me about that. I like can't even deal with
It's too
that.
much.
But I think it's more of a long-term
Yeah.
thing. You know, I don't know about Paradise because that isn't like prime thing, but anything on water in Hawaii,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
bigger
big.
picture.
It's a
Same
much
with
bigger
Palisades. These
picture.
guys they're talking, the developer I met with, you know, in a positive thing, they're talking 8 years from now. So like right now it looks like nothing, but it's like 8 years from now you know, it's going to be cracking off. Like, so
Who's coming here for $8 million houses? They're
The
not
people-
people
no,
that
the
I want to
people-
live like,
Chinese, the
Yeah.
Russian,
no, just to plant,
you know?
it's to plant your money. It's going to be like, and I said, well, how do they make their money? He's like, as long as the lot they buy, whatever they go buy these lots right now in the
It's a
alphabet
deduction
streets,
on the books.
and they say as long as in 3 years that lot went up 20%, that is the business
Good
model works for
investment.
them. So on a scale, big,
And
you
right
know,
now they have to park money. Like,
Yeah.
they have so much money that they need to park money so that their governments don't take it from them. And that's all written off write-offs on their books.
Nobody talks about Malibu. Do
Oh.
you know what I realized a couple days ago? Woolsey burned like 1,400 structures 7 years ago. Only 400 homes in Malibu burned in Woolsey. I think only like half of them are rebuilt right now. 700 homes in Malibu burned in the Palisades Fire. Something like that. I could have my numbers a little bit off. The Palisades Fire impacted Malibu double what Woolsey did. And they have, I think, like 4 permits.
I think less even, right? Wasn't it? I thought it was like 3.
No, that's yeah.
Malibu
And one of them's
is,
like a connected person too. I read like a conspiracy to like one of the permits is like tight with that one.
person.
Yeah, like I don't know. That one's so one of them's like a
But that stuff happens I mean, even in building and
Like, no
safety
one-
here in LA, the connected contractors get their permits through faster. I mean,
I don't think honestly, I don't think our permit took that long compared to
I
our
did.
permit
You'll
before.
2 weeks is what they were saying. 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was months, but it wasn't like awful. Now the problem is getting the money.
So where do you guys go from here? Like, where is your store now? Where can people come?
Our store now
Support
is in Santa
you.
Monica. Some friends of mine, high school friend of mine, whose parents lost their home in the Lockman area also, happened to own a commercial building in Santa Monica. They saw what had happened to us and reached out, had their managers reach out and said, we have a space that we think you could use.
So we made like a private office as a temporary
So we-
situation with the hopes.
We took a space with them. My friend's sister and parents both lost their homes in the Lockman area, so we took this space from them.
But the hope was that we come back to the
Yeah,
Palisades.
we ultimately want
but-
to get back to the Palisades. We just don't know what that looks like or when that will be. But that is our goal. Like you guys have put your kids in another school. We put our kids in another school system. So we're not sure if we want to uproot them right away and come back. We might open our business and still live where we're living now. We're not sure if we're going to live back in our house even after we rebuild it. You know, we may sell it.
if we can rebuild
Or
it.
if we can rebuild it, or we might sell it, or we might rent it. You know,
It's-
we need to put that investment that we made back. We need that back, and this is the only way to do that, is to rebuild it. To get, if you don't rebuild, the insurance companies, you can imagine it's even more difficult to get all the money out of them. We paid for extra endorsements for things like building codes that would change over time or expenses that would go up over time. In order to get all those endorsements in this policy, we have to rebuild. We have to go through the motions to rebuild. Whether we move back or not, we're not
I think
sure.
so many people like us are in limbo right now because it's like the beginning happened and we were all in shock and we were all like, I think there was 2 ways. It was like, we got to get back or we're out forever. And the we got to get back people, well, now we're a year in and there isn't much
Right?
momentum.
Yeah, we weren't able to just jump back. We've now taken some
reality.
time, and reality is starting to set in after
years.
almost 9 months. what do we do? What do we do?
Well,
where do we go from
he was
here?
saying
That question
7
is
years.
so good.
The 7 years, the goal was like 80% back. So like I keep telling Heidi, like right now, if I had the money, I would want to put a brand new house here, get my hummingbirds back. Caruso is reopening the village, which I loved going to Angelini and Hank's, and there's a movie theater. So my world, like my selfish, like
I just need Gelson, Spencer. We need Gelson. Then we can come back.
I don't see that happening too soon without.
No, but you're right. I
you
get,
know, like
I get
I'm
what you're
fine.
saying.
I could be very happy with my hummingbirds. My house is apocalyptic,
But
or
where
my
are the
town.
I
kids going
think
to
you
school?
guys, for you guys,
Yeah.
you know, your kids are younger. Not saying one situation's better than
Yeah.
the other, but your kids are younger. They adapt much, I think, a little bit easier. You know, I keep saying young kids are really selfish. Not that I'm meaning that they're bad or they're selfish, but they're kind of in their own little worlds, right? You give them a couple video games and some toys, and they can adapt really easy. Our kids are older, you know. I feel like
No, I think it's more about the relationships. I think
it's
it's
about the
hard for them
relationships.
to make all these new
you know,
friends.
But
and
I
then
think
leave.
if you ultimately said, Heidi, I want to go back. Let's go back. Let's bring our kids back. I think they would adapt easier.
Oh, they asked to go back all the time.
Oh,
Last
good.
night, the 3-year-old's asking, Heidi, when can we go back to my home?
Yeah. See,
But then
our,
Gunnar
our
also
son,
doesn't want to go back. Like he wasn't happy in school here, and it was not good for him. And he was
He
having
asked me
meltdowns
3
every
nights
day.
ago, when are we going home?
Our son says, I never want to go back to the Palisades.
Oh, so it's like it changes. But I would be fine, like kids not included.
I would be fine too.
I would be very happy to be back here.
I would be too.
And I
But
get
what does
Pearl
that look
Dragon
like?
They're
back
getting an
open.
apartment together.
no, I mean, but what is that like?
Bye.
Like, I guess for us being such a community-based business that burned down, you know, what does that look like for us? How do we? Where's our community? Where's our support group that we had that was helping support our business?
Thankfully, the more wealthier people's houses didn't burn down. So I think you would have Riviera Palisades customers.
Well, that's the thing.
Huntington
It's not like
Palisades.
we were
Isn't that-
just to
you know
cater-
why?
'Cause they had private firefighters.
Those private firefighters made a line on Amalfi. They did. They had water.
I
The
heard
LAFD
somebody
didn't-
called and
Our
it was for
business
$8
was
grand. They got retardant all over. I was like, why didn't I get on Google at 10:30 in the morning when I saw flames and just be like,
Well, now we know.
oh, I know. But
our business was not all the wealthy people. It was the community. It was people from the
I'm saying
churches.
the rebrand.
The rebrand. Okay.
So we're talking about that
Yeah.
community.
Yes,
gone.
I could have
Yes.
a store here
Yeah.
We
with
could
the
have
$8
a
million
store here,
home
but
buyers,
what-
but it's not my. It's like I was just saying to you. It's like that's not my.
It changes us.
people.
It
It's not your
changes.
life.
We,
Yeah.
we would
Yeah.
be changed. And how does that look? And how would we go about doing that rebrand? You know, Spencer, you're good at the rebrand.
Oh, I'm just not there. 30 more pounds.
But
no more
yeah,
burritos.
it's-
Spencer,
it's-
no more burritos.
we are in a state of limbo. We're not sure. We are not sure.
And it's sad because at the beginning, like all the people that were so diehard, like you two, to come home are all kind of like, well, we're good. Firstly, there's a lot that are like, I'm just going to let my lot sit and see what happens. So the people that could bring back, a lot of my friends, they had enough money to just, like Huntington people, to just go buy another house in the meantime. A little, like whatever, better than paying rent. Anyways, they're just like waiting and seeing. So while they're waiting and seeing, that lot's sitting empty. Or there's people that are like, well, like us, they have to rebuild and then they have to wait and see after too, because maybe they've invested in this life in Manhattan Beach or Malibu or whatever. And I think a lot of people are in this limbo if they don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a
I would
hard
love
choice.
to be back in the Palisades and, you know, like Spencer said, Pearl Dragon back and Moku Sushi and let's get it on.
Never Moku sushi. Sorry,
But
Moku sushi.
but it's more complicated than we think.
But we
Yeah.
just were at the Garden Cafe waiting. Like I was hungry. It worked out the timing, and we ran into 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, like,
4, 5 people we knew, and I just left and I started bawling, because as much as like
That's what this
I
town
can try
is.
to
That's
go
why we live
make
here.
a new life, there is nobody that will share like the bond that we have too after going through this. Like even if you get the money, even if you build back, now what?
Yeah.
Is this?
They got a movie theater at the village. I would be. Well, I'm also. I don't like people anymore. So part of me is like.
Have you ever?
Well, I really don't.
I don't
Now I
think so.
really don't. Let's just be clear. So, like, oh, nobody's coming back. Well, I'm gonna.
It's your kids you got to think
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's
I know.
not you.
I keep forgetting.
I just want
about
our
those
Cafe
kids.
Palisades, guys. Cafe
Oh,
Palisades.
that's when we knew
That's-
things
that
were
was
going
the end
sideways.
of-
Once the
When
Chinese
the
spot
Chinese
left,
And Pharmaca.
Pharmaca and
Like,
and then
frick.
that was the sign. That was the writing was
I think
on the
Mort's,
wall.
I think Mort's was the real
The
sign.
real
but
sign.
then
That was
That's
a long
true.
time ago.
Video 2010 was the real
Yeah.
sign.
Playing-
Terry's
playing
was the
Street Fighter in the back of
Dante's.
video
a la
2010.
tarte. Do you remember they would make those like fresh croissants every morning? Did you know? On
You
Store
guys,
Before? Next to
I
Mort's.
mean, I ate
Yeah.
at Greg's Grill.
Greg's
dude.
Grill.
I go
That's
Oh,
where it
way
the
came
hot
up.
dog there.
way back.
Jacopo's.
Oh,
Jacopo's.
That's
Oh,
what people.
Come on.
And we were like, oh, it's I'm like, no, the Palisades.
And the people that lived in Alphabet Streets were like 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses, not like 7,000 square foot house on a 5,000 square foot lot.
Right.
Now that's all it's gonna be.
That's all it's going to be.
And here's the drastic part. And then there's going to be 9 building skyscrapers with affordable housing.
They have to.
It's crazy.
They have to exempt. They have to exempt fire-prone areas from SB 79, just like they did they did SB 9.
You know, it's so where
It's
we're living
crazy.
right now in Santa Barbara, and I felt so good when I read the article, because I at least fought SB 79 so hard. So I read it and I was like, yep, this is what I tried to fight. Developer right now is trying to put a 200-foot building for affordable housing in an area with the biggest building right now is like, and it's not even a building, it's just like a clock, is 50 feet. And it's getting pushed through, and the city council people are saying,
And
like,
Santa Barbara had those horrible fires and mudslides.
that's their, well, this is what the argument the city council's saying. They're saying that the fire department there doesn't have the water pressure to even hit 200 feet, and they don't even have the budget to put hook and ladder fire trucks. But that's these things that SB 79, Wiener, and these people don't account when they force these things through, where that doesn't give the city council any say. It's like there's a lot of factors. Also, like I was arguing when they were talking about putting SB 79, I'm like, well, what's the problem? And I like, okay, density will, if this is the real thing, this New York Times Connor guy argued with me. He's like, well, people should evacuate on foot. That's the whole point. Like
Go to
in
New
the,
York and
like
evacuate
in the
on
movies,
foot.
everyone runs on foot. I was like, okay, I'll stop you there. I'm not even arguing. He's like, well, right now we knew there wasn't enough water to do the houses already. We're going to add more density when the water system can't already even, but
And if all of a sudden we don't care about building permits and not having a say, then great. Wipe all of our permits and let us all freaking build. And if you don't care and it's no problem and everyone should just be able to build, then we should.
This excuse of housing,
They're creating an
of housing
elitism
shortage
for themselves.
is ridiculous. Thank you guys for having us on, and thank you,
you.
Spencer, for what you're doing.
We are so proud of you.
Yeah, we're
I'm
so
just getting
proud
started
of you.
too. I'm like getting mad
Hey,
at every
I'm on the
day.
team. If you need me for anything, you know I'm here.
I know. So tomorrow morning you got to wake up at 7 for the congressional hearing to do the tour of the Palisades.
Wait,
Let's
what?
go.
I wanna go.
I'll go. Where is it? You tell me where to be
We're
when,
gonna go
and I'm
around
there.
my parents' house because there's not a single house
on the
even.
bluffs.
Oh no, all the way from Swarthmore and Via all the way to the
that?
bluffs.
Do you know
There's not
that
a house
I was
being even.
I was born and raised here. One house of all the homes that I've lived in. I'm almost 50 years old. God damn.
feel that.
I've lived in 8 homes here. 2
All
are
of them
standing.
are gone.
My grandma's
My
house.
main
gone.
childish home that was on Via del Solis that I started Pali Elementary in first grade and basically went all the way till almost Pali before we moved to the next home, gone. Every house, Jamie and I,
2 are standing. A
except for
condo
a
in the
condo,
Highlands.
every house that we ever bought together as a married couple, gone. The saddest is the house that we just sold
Oh
to
my
a new
God.
married couple who had no kids. They wrote us this beautiful letter. Their parents helped them, give them the money to buy the house. 18 months before the fire, they just bought the house. Burned. All they had was a dog.
And they sold the lot.
And they already sold the lot.
for
They're not coming
900
back.
grand.
They're not coming back.
They bought the house for $2.7 million from us.
And they sold the lot for
lot nine.
850 grand.
People are just getting.
It's a fire sale.
Wiped out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they had California Fair Plan at least, and like maybe they got $2 million.
$500,000. Nobody's getting.
They
$2
probably
million.
have
To
to
be honest,
pay their parents
If the
back.
insurance gives us any more of a hard time, we may have to straight audible,
Yeah.
take the money, sell the lot with plans and permits, and break. And at that point, it would be almost probably impossible
literally like-
for Jaimie and I, after losing our business, to buy back in the Palisades.
You've got to get the
that's why
lawyer.
the backup, if we have to, is Bentonville. We're going to move to
Where's that?
Arkansas.
I'm literally trying to
visit.
get my son a ride home from school.
I'm going to do half the year in Montana, half the year on Oahu.
So
Because Montana, you only pay car registration once in a lifetime. They have good taxes there. So pay the taxes in Montana and then winter in Hawaii.
No, I will take the money from the insurance company, and I will
That's
have
what a
to
lot of people are
bail.
doing.
we may move to Reno, also next to Tahoe. I guess that's like a great place. People are moving, like right on the border of Tahoe.
What
and
about
Reno.
Colorado?
It's
It's not
Tahoe.
Is
good.
there a lot of trees and bush?
It's
Like,
just
can that shit
freezing.
burn?
But as long as these
And that's-
people in charge right now, everything can burn. That's the thing we should end on. I had a call with the guy that's been doing before they ran out of budget, which is they stopped doing. He was a fire commissioner in Palisades that would come and put the notice if you need to like trim around your yard. He stopped doing Palisades because of budgets in 2022 because they don't have the funds for these guys to come around from the fire department. And so he said, I don't know why people keep talking about the Palisades. He goes, Hollywood is going to burn down
Like
soon.
Laurel Canyon.
Like all, he's like,
Yeah.
Hollywood's burning. He's like, Bel Air, it's burning. He's like, these people have not learned anything from the Palisades fire, and
It's so true.
it's coming around the corner.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
maybe next year, all of Hollywood Hills, everything just cooked, and people over in the Hollywood Hills are like, oh, the Palisades, it's all got burned. It's like, you guys are gonna
Yeah,
get
you
burned
better
next.
recognize.
Yeah, like Bel Air, like
Yeah.
you guys all putting money behind Newsom. And these
They all
politicians,
put in
you're
money
all
for
going to lose
Newsom.
your Monets and Picassos. And
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for being such advocates for the community. And I always think about the two of you as leaders of this community and the heart of this community and really the essence of what made this place so special, and your kids. And we absolutely love you. Make sure you guys check out Jaimie Geller Jewelry online. Also is incredible stuff. Yeah,
www.jaimiegellerjewelry.com.
that's right.
And
There
make
are
sure
beautiful
it's
pieces
Black
there.
Friday coming up, and so if you want something special, if you have a ring, you want it sized, and you don't want it rushed, you better you better do it fast because it's coming around.
Thank you guys, really. Thank you guys. We're so proud of you guys. Heidi,
So proud
you
of
have
you.
have killed it. We really, Spencer, you're an amazing advocate. Keep blowing the wind behind her sails.
Oh, I know. I got to get back to the music here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
gotta do both.
because it's really awesome. We are fans. We are straight fans.
We love you guys. Thank you. And make sure that you stream all my music online, please, and pre-order Spencer's book, The Guy You Loved, Past Tense to Hate. You can pre-order it on Amazon, on anywhere else that you'd like to pre-order things. Thank you for your continual love, support. Please give us great
the
comments and
merch,
reviews.
yo.
Get the
Get the
merch.
And if you're watching this on X, thank you so much because X is the only reason we got our first ad. So, hey, the podcast is only about $1 million in debt. JK, we would have bought pilings. But thank you if you're here on X. You're very important. Who would have
love
thought
you.
X is now like the spot?
I don't.
Extra
yeah.
special shout out for X.